what our culture is telling us in the status quo is basically, okay, well, we need a job. We all know this. You need income, you gotta work, you gotta pay the bills. Two, some of us, you want to be successful. You want more. You want to be rich. And so to do that, how do you get there? Well, that means you have to work incredibly long hours. You have to sacrifice. And somewhere, once you've quote unquote paid your dues and put in all that sacrifice, you can get the car and get the house. And I'll tell you where this story and why get the car, get the house is such an important thing to me. And it's another one of these kind of profound moments in my life, these life-changing kind of aha moments. As it was announced, I'm a singer in a band called Our Lady Peace. I've been that singer for 17 years. I do many other things, but we're a relatively successful band. We've sold 5 or 6 million records, awards, and tours, blah blah blah. One day, we were about 6 or 7 years ago, we were in Los Angeles playing this show, and a big executive in the music business, someone I respect, he can rename nameless, in charge of a huge record company. He called me and said, hey, you know what, it's really great to come to the show tonight, do you have time to go out to lunch? So we came to my hotel in his $125,000 Benz, picked me up, and we drove up the Pacific Coast to this restaurant in Malibu. So we're sitting down at the table, and my music company executive, we engaged, we started talking about music, obviously. He's congratulating me on the success of the band, and talking about the future, and we started talking about artists that we like, and why I got into music. And so I started talking about people like Neil Young, and Joni Mitchell, and Leonard Cohen, great Canadian artists, obviously. Let's talk about Springsteen, and U2, and R.E.M., and all these people that I have such high regard for and respect. And he starts talking about Britney Spears and NSYNC and all this garbage. I shouldn't say that, but it's not garbage. It's entertainment, and what it did was it provided a really important distinction for me. So I'm sitting there, and we're in this discussion, and my contention was that, okay, the artists that I'm talking about have been able to build careers because they followed their passion. They were true to their life force. They didn't give in to the status quo. They didn't follow trends. And I said, the artists that you're talking about, it's like, yeah, they're great for a moment, and there's value in that. Like there's something to be said for entertainment. But I said it's just not where I'm at, and it's not where I want this band to go. Speaking of Our Lady Peace, he got really heavy. He looked me directly in the eyes. I think he even put his hand in my hand, which was, take it back, was a little creepy. But he looked me right in the eyes and he said, Raine, don't be naive. Don't be a fool. Write the biggest hit songs you can. Have the biggest records. Get the car. Get the house. And so, I will never forget that. And what it became for me as I, got driven back in his beautiful luxury car was a mantra. Get the car, get the house became my personal mantra. Not in the way that he wanted it to be. For me, it became a mantra in the opposite. He was going this direction. For me, the mantra, get the car, get the house, was don't do that. Don't sell out. Don't become part of the status quo. Follow your dreams, and for me, looking at all the artists that I was talking about, it was really about keeping that intact in terms of what my life force was and how I saw music and art. So that Malibu lunch was another one of